Hi everyone! Well, it's been a long time since we last posted a new YouTube video. Very unlike me to not post a video for almost a week. Well, I have been busy with my teaching. I just finished my second week of teaching and started my third week the week later. Everyone, it's March break, and you know what that means? It means I have to make some more videos for you guys. Awesome. I would love to do that. It's been a while since I last made a new one. But, I'm still going to be busy with teaching, preparing some lesson plans for my grade 9 and grade 10 science classes, and making up some tests. So today we're going to post 3 videos, this one right over here. I'm going to be charging my Kodak ZI-8 HD camera for my HD videos. I'm going to be making the 46 Mythbuster video, as well as brush this off and play the original Silent Hill 1 games. Can't wait to play that one. So, it's the 3rd of March. I'll show you what's been going on lately with the weather and stuff. Well, there's the lesson plans I have to do. Got to come up with some PowerPoints and tests. Tests I already did for the secondary 4. So this is the tea of the month. It's the Orphanaceous Philippinus, the Filipino orange tea I have. And here's the weather for those of you who are interested. Very weird weather for the past 2 weeks. It's been snowing, then it's been warm, it's melting, now it's snowing again. So can't really make any snowblowing videos. So it's been a long time since I last made a new Arachnotour video. So that's the video for today. We're going to give you an update of all the inverts I have. I don't know exactly how much I own. I think I have 118, 19 or something. So I guess we'll find out actually how much I have, and we'll update the tarantulas and see how well they're doing. So I guess I'll show you the other pets first that I have. These are my 2 guinea pigs, Haley and Leah. Leah is the Abyssinian over here. She's the black, white, and brown. And here's Haley, the long-haired one. She's a silky. Both of them are very, very friendly. She's a little bit skittish, not too much. So they take care of the guinea pigs. Here's my dog Maggie. She's an 8-year-old female Shih Tzu. Recently been groomed on Thursday. She looks like a powder puff. And if you have your smell-o-vision, she really smells good. She smells like baby powder fresh. Look how soft she is. And her tail. She kind of looks like a baby seal. Hey Maggie. High five. She's cute. Awesome. Now for the teas. Okay, so let's start the count. This is number 1, my mature female, Acanthoscurria brocklehursti, the giant white banded. Sasha, she's a 6.5 inch female, freshly molted. As you saw from her molted skin, I still have her. There's the flap. Okay, number 2 is my 3-inch male, Acanthoscurria geniculata, the Brazilian giant white knee. And this is the one I got from Logan. His name is Desire from the Harry Potter film. He was freshly molted actually the day I picked him up 2 weeks ago. He's a lively male. He looks a little bit bigger than Derek. Not by much. Well, she ain't looking too happy. This is one of my Acanthoscurria suina, the sulfur brown bird eater. I got this one from Tarantula Canada, which was their last one. And luck as would have it, I've actually pinch grabbed her and she was female. Now, I don't think I'll be pinch grabbing anymore because look how mean she is now. She got a little bit more defensive as she aged. So, yeah, that's cool. So that's all the Acanthoscurrias now that I own. Now for the Aphonopelmas. Now this genus, Aphonopelma, is actually really rare in Canada. So I have here a pair of Chalcodes, Desert Blonde. So this is the sling that I got from E-Man 2 years ago. Hasn't really grown very much, about 3/4 of an inch. Loves to burrow, that's Marge. And this is the older female that I got many years ago. She's around 20 years old. This one was a mature female that I have. Freshly molted last year. Yeah, she's pretty old. I tried mating her with Jason's male back last year and just nothing. And this is the last Aphonopelma that I own. This one here is a Aphonopelma simani, the Costa Rican zebra. Here's Stripes, a fully grown 5.5 inch mature female. Okay, so here is Annabelle. She is my Avic female, 4.5 inches mature. She seems to be doing a lot of webs, which really she normally doesn't do, so I could probably assume that she might actually be molting soon. Well, it's been actually a couple months since her last molt, so I think she's probably due. She's got a fat abdomen there. It's all these superworms that have been feeding her. She just loves it. Alright, this is the second Avic that I own. This one here is a female, around 2 inches, Avicularia lata, the Puerto Rican pinktoe. And this is actually one of my most defensive ones. She likes to behave like a Taphnocenius. I can just touch her and look at that. She has her fangs out. I didn't really touch her too much and she's already in defensive stance. But this one actually happens to be one of the more easier Avics to raise as a sling. I had her ever since she was a little small baby, like a little 1/2 inch. I remember the videos I've taken her, she was electric blue. And now she's like at 2 inches and almost brown colored now. And that's what a adult looks like too. Yeah, so I guess no messing with her, that's for sure. Okay, this is a huge Avic that I have. This happens to be my mature female, fully grown 6 inches, Avicularia urticans. At least that's the name that I was sold under from Tarantula, Canada. This is the giant Peru pinktoe. And she's going to get a little drink of water. They actually do drink water, you know. Again, this one here is a little bit mean, but nowhere as near as defensive as my Aleta that I showed you. So this is her color, so what she looks like in front of the light. She may actually be an A. juruensis, but I'm not too sure about that. Here is T number 10, my last Avic. This one here is an Avicularia versicolor, the Antilles pinktoe. One of the more beautiful Avics to own. This one here is a 3.5 to 4 inch sexed female. Her name is Trinity, that I got from Shanrock 777, I think around 3 years ago. Very nice. Okay, so this happens to be the only scorpion that I have in my collection for the time being. I will plan on getting some more in the near future. But here is my Babycurus gigas, which is also known as the giant rusty thick-tailed scorpion. Very similar to the B. jacksoni, except the gigas gets a little bit larger. This one here is around a 3 inch female. Doesn't really like to eat in front of the camera, but I know for a fact that Babycurus scorpions tend to be very shy eaters. And they don't like to be watched when they're eating. So number 11 and 12 are my pair of Brachypelma albiceps, the Mexican gold redrum. So here is the one I call Joy, but I might have to change her name because it looks to be a sexed male. He is around, let's say, 2.5 inches. And this is my big girl Stacy that I got from Arachnotour. She's humongous. 5.5 inches. She's somewhat of a hair kicker, but not too bad. Here is Aragog. This is Logan's female Brachypelma abulpulosum that he gave me. It's about 2 inches, very fat and very plump and healthy. And here's my specimen, Curly Sue. She's my sweetheart. She is 24 years old. This is a full-grown specimen, 6.5 inches. And I can see I can just pick her up, and she's one of my sweeties. Very calm and docile. But again, individuals do vary. She happens to be one of my most better tempered curly hairs, and she's a little bit skittish, but then again, she is a little bit young for her age, so I'm sure that she's going to be mellow out as she ages. Oh, she seems to be webbing, so that's a good sign. She's probably happy. Next up is a pair of Brachypelma auratum, the Mexican flame knee. And these used to be 1/2 inch when I got them 3 years ago. Now they're starting to grow like weeds. So here's Claire, my female, and Leon, my male. My male is actually growing a little bit faster than my female, so since I want to try to mate them, hopefully, within the next couple of years, I might want to slow him down a little bit. But they almost look identical to Smithy, except the fact that their leg patterns are different. If you look closely at my specimen, you can actually see the flame-tipped knees, giving its common name, the Mexican flame knee. Now this one here is the successor to the late Katana. Here is Melina, my 2.5 inch female Brachypelma Bomi, the Mexican fireleg. She's just like Katana. She likes to run a lot, she loves to kick hairs. But unlike her, she's not the best eaters, and that's why you haven't seen her in many of my feeding videos. But a very nice, stunning specimen. Now this lovely specimen happens to be my 3.5 inch female Brachypelma Emilia, the Mexican painted redleg. And I named her Emilia after the first women pilot. She's actually really nice looking, especially with her red legs and the dark triangle on her abdomen. Now B. Emilia is the second smallest Brachypelma. The first one is the Brachypelma Kallenbergi. That only gets up to having a 3 inch leg span. A little bit more skittish than the B. Smithy, but still pretty docile enough to handle. And mine rarely kicks hairs too, so that's a good plus. This one here is Petunia. She is my 5.5, near 6 inch female Brachypelma Classy, the Mexican pink. Stunning specimen and huge eater. Star attraction of one of my feeding videos. She's almost always featured. Here's Athena, Brachypelma Smithy, Mexican redknee. She's around 5.5 inches. Here is T number 20, my infamous Scarlet, the Mexican redknee, Brachypelma Smithy. She is in really heavy pre-molt. She's probably going to molt any day now. And luckily for me, since I am on March break, I'll be able to catch the molt and film it for you guys. I think her last molt was around 2 years ago. And you can see, oh yeah, definitely heavy pre-molt, as you saw. Black abdomen, so hopefully very soon she'll be like almost 6 inches. Here's Morticia pretending to be like a pokey. This here is my almost 7 inch female Brachypelma vagans, the Mexican red rump. I tried to mate her last year with Mr. Cookie Monster's mature male. First attempt went great. The second attempt she almost killed him. And unfortunately for me, I was there to save him. And then I did get a sack 5 months later, and she destroyed it, so it wasn't that great. So you haven't seen her in many of my feeding videos, so thought I'd give an update on her, how she's doing. Yeah, she's kind of iffy tempered. She has her days, sometimes really skittish, the other one downright mean. Here's Annette, my other bee vagans, a lot more smaller than the other one, and slightly more hungrier. She's around 2 inches. Have no idea what sex this one is yet. Hopefully she's going to molt. Then I'll figure out what type of she is. I'm thinking that she actually might be a possible male, but who knows? We'll see. These two here are my pair of Brachypelma verdezi, the Mexican rose gray. Here's Kalinka. She is my sexed female. Well, she actually might be starting to turn to pre-molt, which is a good thing. And here's Dr. Cossack after Mega Man 4. He's a fat male. Loves his superworms. And this guy here is Fantasia. Actually, she's a really nice girl, very friendly too. Happens to be a crossbreed of a Vagans and verdezi, and it's called the Mexican Fantasy. And that's what she looks like. Very beautiful specimen. Let me show you the right amount of light. So you can start to make out, she's got a little small black triangle on her carapace, and she's got the red abdomen hairs like a Vagans. And actually I'll just touch her just to see how well she behaves. Typical Brachypelma. Very calm and very docile. Key number 28 is my Chilobrachys guanaciensis, the Chinese fawn. Very heavy Weber, also one of my faster growing terrestrial species. Loves to dig elaborate tunnels. I think everyone knows what this tea is. This one here is my 6-inch mature female green bottle blue, Arachnotour cyanopubescens, Valencia. This happens to be one of my most pickiest eaters of this species. I did own a previous one a couple years ago as a mature male, and he ate anything I threw at him. Also, she's a little bit more calmer, not as defensive as yours, Jan, but I'll give you an actually demo. Well, actually, yeah, she is defensive. Kind of moody, so just show you the colors on the specimen. Just really show you that GVBs are one of the prized beauties of anyone's collection. Metallic green carapace with royal blue legs and an orange abdomen. What more can you ask for? And these are super easy to raise, especially as adults. Keep them dry with a water dish. Yeah, as if only I can get this one to eat more, then I'd be set. Tea number 30 is a mystery tea. Well, that's her name, Mystery. Thanks, Shannon, for that awesome name. This one here was bought as a unknown species, and I've been looking over a couple of sites when I first got her and determined that she was a Acanthoscurria livingstoni, the Livingston's tea. This girl is 6 inches and she is a monster. Very skittish and doesn't really throw any threat postures. This guy is an underrated tarantula in the Canadian hobby. This one here is a Cryptopholus ramsey, Cuban pygmy. This one eats like a horse, and it's around an inch sling. Got this one last year as a ½ inch, and it's growing like a weed. Well, you haven't really seen her in many of my videos. This is my 1½ inch, almost mature female, Syracosmus perez melesi, the Bolivian dwarf. As you can see, she's a very friendly specimen. She does like to kick hairs. But I've handled her. She's actually pretty calm, but just because of their skittishness doesn't make it a good handling tea. But she's awesome. Very small, very cute too. Tea number 33. Here is my mature male, Pseudococcus shoidi, the Malaysian earth tiger that I got from Santo. Really awesome looking specimen. He's about 4½ inches. Still no takers on this male. It would PM the Arachnotour Canada, and I only got one offer for the Elva Siopies, just not this guy. Hopefully I'll find him a female soon. Number 34. This one here is a Cyclosternum fasciatum, the Costa Rican tiger rump, Stella. 3.5-inch female, very skittish. Over here is an Aphonopelma rufescens, the burgundy skeleton T. This one here, I'm not sure if it's a male or female yet. Judging by its growth pattern, it's actually going really quickly than most, so I likely to assume this to be a male. And if so, I'll call him Cleveland, from the Cleveland Show. Family Guy. And this one here is a possible female, and she's actually really huge and really leggy, is my Aphonopelma udamen, the emerald skeleton, and I called her Esmeralda. Man, she's got an impressive leg pattern. She looks to be around the 3.5 inches to 4 inches range. Definitely very skittish and very defensive. I'll just touch her to see how well she acts. Oh yeah, you can see that. She did a 180. And it's really nice and unique about these species. If you look closely at their abdomen, it's sort of like a metallic yellow to them. And they kind of have this when they are at the sling stage, much like, your Saronathus sling, which is your blue fang. But definitely a very nice looking T. She's around 4 years old. T number 37 is Amber, my Euaphus species red, at a major, huge 2 inches. Not my best eater, but holy cow, is she ever docile. Out of all the 119 plus T's I own, she happens to be the most docile specimen that I have, next to Curly Sue, the big Biobopulosum that I showed you previously. Here are a mature pair of Eupalestris camperstratus, the pink zebra beauty. This is Pink Floyd, mature male. As you can see, there are his hooks and his pedipalps. And hopefully this week, definitely going to have time this week since it's March break, I have time to mate him with Yasmin. And now Yasmin is my 4.5-inch mature female pink zebra beauty. Next up, an update of my camel spider, the Galeodes grantii from Egypt. Well, it has seemed to get a little bit better. It's still probably in its hibernation phase, but it's still pretty sluggish, and I think I'm doing something right, because I bought these from Tarantula Canada. I think they own 4 of them. I bought 1 of them, and all their 3 died off, so mine seems to be doing well for the time being, so that's a good thing. Just give a little prod. Well, it did seem to be much more active than usual, so I'm definitely happy. This one here is a long survivor of my collection. She is approximately at least 16, 17 years old. It is my Grammostola pulchra, the Brazilian black. Big 7-inch girl. 3rd largest member of the genus, next to the Pulchripes and the Grossa, at 8.5, 9 inches. And here is the male that I got a couple of years ago from Leslie. His name is Roy, and hopefully when he matures, pair these 2 up and hopefully get some nice babies. Alright, now for some Chaco gold knees. This happens to be the largest one in my collection so far. This one here is Charlotte. She is about 6 inches and incredibly beefy. Here's Wendy, another G. Pulchripes. I had her ever since she was a little small spiderling 4 years ago, and now she's about half grown. this is the last Chaco I own. This is Peach. She's actually the sister of Wendy, but seems to be growing a little bit quicker than her. She looks to be around the 4.5 inches range. Now these two are rose hares, Grammosola rosea. These are the normal forms. These are the most common ones that you see at your local pet store for $20 to $30. So here is Talia. She's absent in most of my feeding videos because she's fasting now. She hasn't eaten for the past 3 months. Hopefully she's going to be in pre-molt very soon. And this is Michaela, which is a very shocker. And most of you have realized this, and she happens to be one of my most heaviest web builders of G. rosea. Talia doesn't web at all, but she's a very, very interesting specimen. And love her carapace. I know the light's not picking up very well, but you can see how bright pink it is. She's like 5.5 inches, near 6, and she's actually pretty beefy compared to Talia. Now here's a rose hare that you probably won't likely see from a pet store. This one here is the red phase. This one here is a 4.5 inch female, and I named her Lois, after Lois Griffin from Family Guy. This is not the Acanthoscurria. And to differentiate between this and P. scophrya is the fact that the scophrya has the mirror patch similar to what you would find on the knee tricholentis. Morris Rose, after my late grandfather. This is my 2-inch juvenile male rose hare red form sling. Or I should say juvie now, not a sling anymore. This guy is the legitimate 4-year-old specimen. I've had him ever since he was a 1/2 inch spiderling. Now don't believe what pet stores tell you that a specimen that big is 3 years old. It's significantly older. Talia, I would say she's a good 8 to 10 years old. Lois is probably around 5 to 6 maybe, and he's about 4. So just goes to show you how rose hares are really slow growing species. Alright, so that's all my Grammosolas that I have. So I think now we are at 49. This is the next little tea that I'd like to show you. Haplopus species Columbia large, aka the pumpkin patch. Kina. She is approximately about 1.5 inches right now. Tend to keep her on moist substrate with enough substrate for her to burrow, and she's loving every minute of it. Wow, the cage really did not look like this in the last feeding video. Grishina's been busy. She is my 5.5 inch mature female Acanthoscurria maculata, the Togristarpus baboon. This was the very first tarantula that I tried to mate in my 18 years of keeping tarantulas, and unfortunately the egg sac did not go well. I actually have a video about that, and coincidentally it's the most watched video on my channel with I think 530,000 views plus. It's amazing. She's actually really beautiful. Nice. Okay, so this is number 51. This is another Acanthoscurria maculata, Togristarpus baboon. Another heavy webber of mine. She doesn't really like to be seen on YouTube very much, and she's always burrowing, so I never actually get good videos of her. But unfortunately, she likes to hide in her burrow and be like a T. There she is, 4.5 inches. She's a captive-bred species that I've kept since 2007 as a 1/2 inch. Now she's almost, 4.5 inches. Just under shy of Grishina, the big larger one. Here's another very strong web builder. This is Abby, my 2.5 inch, fully grown adult female Holothele inci, the Trinidad olive. Yeah, there she is over there. She's fun. This one I won't take out for you, and this is pretty much all you're going to see for this specimen. Number 53 is my black trapdoor spider. which is really a Siphonesia species rather than an idiop species. This one here is like a 2-inch female, and it's like a black-silver color that you may have seen in previous videos. Okay, so I'm going to cut off the video for here. So I hope you liked part 1. I'm going to be splitting up to 2 parts just because it's a very long video. And hope you enjoy it. So stay tuned for part 2.